Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna for good.
Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna. Can you hear
Hare
me?
Krishna.
Hare Krishna for good.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, all the devotees. Thank you for joining. Krishna. With powerful and very practical and very actually fearful but not fearful, when as Prabhuji has presented that it's not fearful, the date is not fearful, and but yeah, very impactful, very powerful talk by Nishant Prabhu. Let's read a little bit from Srila Prabhupada's book more. Before that, let's start with the Manglacharan. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuda Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Pancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna. So hope everyone is doing good, taking care of themselves very nicely. So the passage is also related to the same life after death or the Krishna consciousness moment and life after death. So let's start. So one by one devotees can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, ma'am.
Purification of consciousness is the purpose of this Krishna consciousness moment. Presently, we are preparing this divine consciousness for a conscious goes with us at the time of death. Consciousness is carried for the body just as the aroma of the flower is carried by the air. When we die, the material body composed of 5 elements: air, water, earth, water, air, fire, and ether, decomposes, and the gross materials return to the elements. Or as the Christian Bible says, dust thou art, and the unto dust thou shalt return. In some societies, the body is burnt. In others, it is burnt, and in others, it is thrown to animals. In India, the Hindus burn the body, and thus the body is transformed into ashes. Ash is simply another form of earth.
Thank you, Mataji.
Correct.
Yeah. Somebody else can continue.
I'll read probably.
Yes, ma'am.
Christians bury the body, and after some time in the grave, the body eventually turned to dust, which again, like us, in another form of art. There are other societies, like the Parsi community in India, neither burn nor bury the body, but throw into the vultures, and the vultures immediately come to eat the body, and then the body is eventually transformed into stool. So in any case, this beautiful body, which we are sopping and caring for so nicely, will eventually turn into stool, ashes, or dust. At death, the finer element, mind, intelligence, and ego, which combined are called consciousness, carry the small particle of spirit soul to another body to suffer or enjoy according to one's want. Our consciousness is molded by our work. If we associate with stool, our consciousness, which is like the air, will carry the aroma of stool and thus at the time of death will transport us to an undesirable body.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, somebody else can continue.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Amrita Mata, you can.
Yes, Prabhuji. 1 minute. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Or if the consciousness passes over roses, it carries the aroma of roses, and thus we are transported to a body wherein we can enjoy the results of our previous work. If we train ourselves to walk in Krishna consciousness, our consciousness will carry us to Krishna. Different types of body are developed according to consciousness. Therefore, if we train our consciousness according to the yogic principle, we will attain a body wherein we can practice yoga. We will get good parents and a chance to practice the yoga system, and automatically we will be able to revive the Krishna consciousness practiced in our previous body. Therefore, it is stated in this last verse, by virtue of the divine consciousness of his previous life, he automatically becomes attracted to the yogic principles even without seeking them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, somebody else can continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'll read.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I'm not able to see the first line. Something.
Therefore, our present duty is to cultivate divine consciousness. If we,
Yeah, we want divine life, spiritual elevation, and eternal blissful life, full of knowledge. In other words, if we want to go back home, go back to Godhead, we have to train ourselves in divine consciousness or Krishna consciousness. This can be easily done through association. Sangat Sanjayate Kama. Through divine association, our consciousness is made divine, and through demoniac association, our consciousness is made demoniac. Therefore, our consciousness must be trained to be divine through the proper association of those in Krishna consciousness. That is the duty of one in this human form, a form that gives us a chance to make our next life completely divine. To attain this end, we should try to contact those who are developing divine consciousness. The Krishna consciousness is a method for connecting directly with the Supreme.
thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Small, yeah, somebody else can read.
Hare Krishna. This is the special gift of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not only is this method direct and immediate, but it is also practical. Although many people entering this society have no qualifications, they have become highly advanced in Krishna consciousness simply by coming in contact with the society, path of perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Mataji. Yeah. So, wonderful passage actually. So, devotees are requested to share the wonderful point which they like from this passage. So let's continue our discussion with the one point which touches your heart, or what is the most important thing which you got from this passage. Hare Krishna, who would like to go first? Yes, Santosh Prabhu, you are saying something. Yeah, Satya Prabhu.
I'll go. So Prabhuji will have to include both actually what we had in our main room plus this, right? This is the complete.
We'll focus on this, Prabhu, and if you have some points to support your thing, you can.
Yeah, because I have concluded in a summary, including everything.
Summary will discuss, Prabhu, at the end. Let
Okay.
devotees give their one point at least from this passage, and then
Okay.
we'll continue the
So,
discussion.
Yes, Prabhuji. So I'll add one point here. So
Yes.
here it is mentioned, I think, even if a person is born in a family of Chandal, it is mentioned specifically, right? Which means the lowest of lower, but what we consider, or in our society, it is considered. Also can get a, he can also underwent all kinds of let's say austerity and everything once he chant the Hare Krishna or holy name of Lord Krishna, the Mahamantra.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very nice, Prabhuji. So very lowest mankind means this Chandala,
Lowest,
the dog eaters, right? They
right.
are the dog eaters actually, and dog eater is considered as very lowest class. So they also can deliver by this Krishna consciousness or by Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's very big thing. Yeah. So any other points? So I would yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, just to add, I like the point which is related to consciousness. So, something which is not in our control. At the end of the lifetime, when we embrace death, basically, the beautiful analogue is given. Like the air spreads the aroma of the flower and it is carried away. There is nothing that could stop. So basically, moment we beat the death, it is going to carry it away in the next life. And based on what we are associating with, like the beautiful example is given, whether it is rose or stool, the way our consciousness will get developed, if it is purified consciousness like Krishna consciousness, it will go towards Krishna, else it will go away from Krishna. So that is very, very practical visualization that we can have from that point, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing. And Prabhu has very nicely brought this point, and very, very wonderful and very important point this, right? That the consciousness, how we can improve or how we can get the good consciousness. And it depends on the association, how much we associate or with whom we are associating. Right? So thank you, Prabhuji. So I would request, I would like to ask you one thing, which is given in the passage very beginning. So what is the purpose of Krishna consciousness movement?
So, Hare Krishna.
So,
I
yes,
would
ma'am.
like to, the question what you asked, the purpose of Krishna consciousness. While I feel the path of any devotion begins with bhakti. Well, people will often think that bhakti is easy, but I think that is the most important thing which people feel that it is easy. But I personally feel that it is very to get into the path of bhakti is easy, but then to be in the path throughout your life and then finally go back to Godhead as per the message by gurus and then chanting. I think that is the purpose of Krishna consciousness is what I feel.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mataji. So any other points? Yeah.
Prabhu, in short, it is the purification of one's own consciousness.
Yes. Yes. So the Krishna consciousness is the method or the way, right, to purify our consciousness, how we can purify our consciousness. Like in previous sessions also we discussed that we are originally Krishna conscious entity, right? But due to our material desires or due to our desire to enjoy, right, we came into this material world, and now we are polluted. We are in this material consciousness, right? So we have to pure, or we have to cleanse our consciousness. That's the motive of Krishna consciousness. When we are coming to Krishna consciousness, that should be the there should be very, very much clear to that we are here to purify us. So we should not think that we are very nice, we are very pious, or मतलब मैं तो बहुत पुण्य आत्मा हूँ, right? No, we are all, because of our desire or because of our paap or whatever sinful activities, we are here in the material world, we are suffering. So that's the, I mean, when we understand that we are diseased, then only we will try to recover from that, right? We will try to take the medicines for that disease, right? So that is very, very much important to understand, first of all, that yeah, we are diseased, but we are here to purify, or we are here to come out of that disease, right? So thank you so much. So let's move ahead, and what are the what happens to our bodies at death? It's so first of all, how many bodies we have? Anybody remembers? In the last sessions also we have discussed, or
3 bodies.
yes. So all And can anybody name those three bodies?
Yeah, Prabhuji. This is gross body, subtle body, and the soul. The gross body, which is consist of the physical matter. The subtle body is consist of the mind, intelligence, ego, and soul is eternal. So when during the time of death, the gross body gets into the, as per the different religious activity, it gets into the earth. So whereas the subtle body is kind of a aroma which goes from one body to the other body based on the consciousness we develop during the time of death. Yeah, Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, and the soul transferred basically from one body to another with the help of this subtle body, right? Mind, intelligence, and ego. So that's what mind, intelligence, and this consciousness is what is carrying the soul from one to another body, right? And at the time of death, if we are in Krishna conscious, we will go back to the Godhead, and at that time we will also lose our this subtle body, right? Yeah, Sandeep Prabhu, you would like to add anything?
Not really, Prabhuji, but the Christian consciousness teaches us that how to live our life, and just about the chanting, and we have to be in a peace way, and all that it teaches us.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So why it is important to purify our consciousness? Any example you would like to quote, or why it is very important to purify our consciousness? Is it important, or we are just wasting our time here in Krishna consciousness? Why it is important?
Yeah, Prabhuji, the purification means we should not give importance to the gross body. Rather, we should give more importance to the soul to connect back to Godhead. So that can be achieved only through Krishna consciousness practices and various various principles associated with it, like chanting, association of devotees, and eating prasad, remnants of the bhoga offered to the god, and reading scriptures.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. So others, today I think very less participation. I would like to hear from other devotees also. Amresh Prabhu, Punit Prabhu, Santosh Prabhu. Didn't hear anything. Renu Mataji, Ankita Mataji, Upasna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Basically, Krishna consciousness, which is made of three things, basically mind, intelligence, and ego. Purification is must of these things, consciousness, which is only done through Krishna consciousness. And due to this, basically, this is the duty of one in this human form, a form that gives us a chance to make our next life completely divine. So it is must for us.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just to add,
Yes,
nicely shared by devotees. So basically, it's like we are looking ourselves into a mirror. Let's say if the mirror is unclean, it is having all dust over it, we won't be able to see anything. So it's in the same way, it is said that the soul is covered by this, the final elements. This is subtle body, which is mind, intelligence, and ego. So the impurities, anarthas in us is like a dust on on the mirror. We are not able to see ourselves. So only when we clear the dust, we'll be able to clear and see, okay, these are we in the picture, basically. So in the same way, the purification of consciousness means purification of mind, intelligence, and ego, to break the shackles so that the soul, which is covered by all of these things, will get liberated. It will go towards Krishna. Hare Krishna.
thank you, Prabhu. So I would like to quote this shloka again, what Prabhuji also explained in his talk, Nishan Prabhu, right? Antakale cha mameva smaran muktava kalevaram ya prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra sanshaya. So this is very important that so everyone has given very nice points, and Prabhuji has given very nice example about the mirror, that we have to clean the mirror, the dust over that mirror, so that we can see our face right clearly. So here we can understand that if we want to go back to Godhead, or we want to enjoy with Krishna, which is the supreme enjoyer, and he is the purest of the pure, we also needs to be pure, right? We needs to be clean our consciousness, right? So that's why Krishna consciousness is very important. We have to purify our consciousness, and for purification, what is the process? This we understood that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, or the Krishna consciousness, the practice of Krishna consciousness is the process. So, but why in this shloka we can say that we can read here, and whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attain my nature, or of this share of this there is no doubt, right? So Lord is saying ant kale cha mameva, means ant kal mein, whatever means ant kal, at the end of the life, whoever smaranam mukta kalevaram, whoever will smaran means remember me, right? So what he will get if he will remember at the time of death of Lord Krishna, ya prayati samad bhava, he will come to my nature, means he will come to the my eternal abode, and there is no doubt for that, there is no sanshaya, right? So in main room, Prabhuji Yashwant Prabhu also asked, right? So this is the proof, or this is the from Lord himself is the this what means the means there is no doubt only, right? There is no sanshaya ki kya hoga, or what how we can get the eternal abode, right? So here Lord is giving the full guarantee. There is, what is the guarantee? That's what Prabhuji was asking. So here is the guarantee, right? And yeah, so the antakal. So how we will get the smaran in the antakal? Like Prabhuji, Sudhir Gopal Prabhu was saying that when we will have in the throughout our this duration, full day journey, we will smaran of the Lord. And but for that full day, how we will get the japa kal? We have to do our japa prescribed rounds in that japa kal, that the time of our japa and purification. When we are doing the japa and we are getting, we are in the process of purification, right? So that's why this is very important, that we should try to purify ourselves, and then only we will able to go to the Krishna lok, right? The supreme abode. So that's why purification of our consciousness is very important. And what is the benefit? So when we will go to the Krishna lok, what is the benefit? Anybody? No benefit? Everyone is silent.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
So, Prabhuji, is it about breaking the cycle of birth and death, and
yes. Yes.
you will never have to come again?
Yes, Prabhu. Very nice. That's the very ultimate right advantage of going back to Godhead, right? So this is what I was referring. So let's again read from the Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter only, from 16th shloka, right? Where Lord himself is saying, "A Brahma Bhuvana Loka Puna Avartina Arjuna Mam Upatyata Tu Konteya Punar Janmana Vidyate." Right? Punar Janma Na Vidyate means this repeated birth and death won't take place. When when we will Mam Upatyetu Kanta. When we will come to, like Lord is saying, when you will come to my abode, right? Mam means mine, and to me, I arriving, right? So, and we know that if you are, like Lord is saying here, oh Brahma Bhuvana Loka, means if you are reaching to the highest planet, Brahma Loka also, we won't get that, we have to come to the, means that is also the part of material world only. Even if you'll go down to the lowest, or the places of misery, everywhere is the places of misery, right? Where we will get the repeated birth and death. But when we attain, but once who attain my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. So here again, Lord is giving the guarantee. So this is the ultimate advantage. So everybody is on board to go to Goloka, or still some doubts? So yeah, if we have come to this Krishna consciousness, definitely we are in the path, we are in the journey, right? We have boarded the ship which is going to Goloka, and definitely if we are, so we know that, right? If we wanted to go to some place, right? If we want to go to Delhi or Hyderabad or wherever, right? From one place to other, right? So we have to what we have to do, either we have to catch train or flight or anything, but we have to just get it into that train, right? We are going by train, and then we need not to go and ask driver, or we have to only uh, drive or something like that, right? We need to ask them to put the fuel first, or did you do something or not, or will I reach or not? We are sure, right? If we have boarded the train, we will sure that we will reach our destination, right? So similarly, when we are board this Krishna consciousness boat, so we should be sure that we will reach to the Krishna's lok, right? So, but we have to do our part also, right? Whatever is prescribed to us, whatever the sadhana we are doing, we have to read, right? Everything we have to do. So,
I have a
yes,
very like if we are remembering Narayan Antakala Narayan Smriti, so we will be going to Goloka Vrindavan, right, which is the eternal abode of Sri Krishna. But there is also Vaikuntha. How Vaikuntha is different from Goloka Vrindavan, Prabhuji? And if I mean, is it like few devotees may go to Vaikuntha based on certain things, and few others will go to Goloka Vrindavan? I know that this is a very vast topic. Maybe I don't know whether the time permits or not, but I had this doubt, Prabhu.
Yeah. So I mean, I will just say, bro, anyone has any thoughts on this? So we can hear from
Prabhuji, I thought it is same, I think, Goloka Vrindavan and,
Vaikuntha.
Yeah, Vaikuntha.
So it's same in that sense that I would just add here one point, because Satya Prabhu just said this, that it is same as in that sense that this is all spiritual world, right? So Vaikuntha is also a spiritual world, and Goloka is also a spiritual world. So either if you will reach to the Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan, you won't come back. So that is for sure. At least we can be, we can go and either in Vaikuntha, or I mean, we can have desire to go even in Vaikuntha also, Goloka Vrindavan also, no problem, right? But we should not have desire to go to the Brahmalok or Svargalok or whatever. So those are the material worlds, right? Even though they are higher planets, even though they have higher facilities for enjoyment, but they are in the material world, material planets, right? So so this is how we can understand that it's fine to have any kind of desire. But just to understand the Vaikuntha and Goloka, only one point I will say, one or 2 points, because of lack of time. So Yeah, but Vaikuntha Lok is like opulent, and there are this thing, what you call means the Dasya Bhav is there, we wanted to serve Lord in the in our means master and servitor mood, right? And in the Goloka Vrindavan, we have many moods, many different, like in the like Krishna, and also like in the Vaikuntha, we have Vishnu form, which is the official form of Lord, like where Lord is doing everything, maintaining the means maintenance and other things of the universe, like that. So they're like not very intimate relationship. Intimate in the sense we are serving, but there is some high, means Lord is high position and we are at the servitor position. But in the Goloka, like we have seen when Lord Krishna is in this material world also, he has many exchanges with his devotees in that, in Dasya form or in the Sakya form or in the Vatsalya form, right? In the these are the different rasas where Krishna is taking pleasure. So basically, he is taking pleasure with the friends. He is taking pleasure as Vatsalya form, means when Yashoda means he wants us to become the son of his devotee, right? So Yashoda, and he wants us to just enjoy in the mood of his means with the gopis, right? In the this intimate pastimes he does with the gopis, right? So these are the different modes where there is more closeness, more intimate pastimes we can perform with the Krishna. So that's the difference too. There are so many things, but we'll just pause here. So hope little bit it got clear. So there is one more thing in the passage about the association, right? So any point in terms of association? What is and how association is important? Like,
Prabhu, it is very clearly said that when we are associated with devotees, we will get devotional knowledge and devotional experience. When we associate with demoniac and toxic people and all, will become demoniac in nature by consciousness.
yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. So yeah, so this is very important. So let's read from Chaitanya Charitamrita also. So this is very, very important and very nice shloka. Many places in this is quoted like sadhu sanga sadhu sanga sarva shastrika love matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi. Right? So all the scriptures, the verdict of all revealed scriptures is that by even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. So this is the power of association, right? Here, I would like to just highlight this point, this word, love matra. Love means, here Prabhupada is writing, according to astronomical calculation, love is 1/11th of a second. So it's not even a second, it's part of second. Love matra sadhu sang. So even if we get the sadhu sang for the love matra, means the fraction of seconds, sarva siddhi, we will get all the success. But yeah, sadhu sang. So we have to take the association of pure devotee, right? Association of pure devotee will give this. So this is how the association is very important. You should understand that as sadhu sang can improve our consciousness or can give us all success in the spiritual world, similarly, the bad association can drag us to this material world again and again. So this bad association, we should refrain from a bad association, and we should be stick to the good association with the sadhu sang, right? So that we can purify our consciousness and we can continue this. So any points or anything you'd like to share? Anybody?
Yes, Prabhuji. This sadhu sang is very important because it keeps us on the right track. Like for example, we are having this bhakti vriksha, so it boosts us, energizes us to continue in this. So let's say throughout the week we have many ups and downs, but again if we don't have this sadhu sang, then we'll get deviated. But if we continue this, then we will be having fortunate to be in the right track in the devotional service.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, any thoughts on why like Krishna consciousness movement is can easily elevate the one also who is not qualified, right? That is also given, or we should discuss that how Krishna consciousness can elevate even a unqualified person, and why how we can understand that Krishna consciousness is helping to those also, and why it is helping, because of whose mercy or
Hare
yes,
Krishna, Prabhuji. This is
Hare
Santosh.
Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, please.
So I think the people who are not qualified, or they have done many sins. So during the start of this class today, I think it was very nice explained by Prabhuji that if we are into this path and we try to follow whatever sins we have done in the past, this get nullified, and through the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna, I think although he is supreme godhead, but when we are doing the pure bhakti in the community or in this groups, what we have with devotees, so definitely he will show the mercy, and he will also help us to get delivered. So because we are choosing Harinam Sankirtan, we are serving the devotees, we are serving the Lord by this spirituality. The previous sins are kind of nullified, and we are delivered.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. So, anyone else?
So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, just
Yeah.
to add,
Yes,
as it is mentioned about the pre-qualification, absolutely there is no qualification which is required. As also mentioned earlier, even a dog eater can get the mercy if he is submissively trying to chant the holy name. So like one of the pastimes which we all know, but it is good to just remember, is Jagai Madhai, who has been like we are like Jagai Madhai, maybe in a different form. We have been doing all past sins and everything. So the Jagai Madhai was very sinful, and nobody was approaching them. Because they have done all of the offenses to everybody, basically all the crimes they have done, and to them also Nityananda Prabhu has approached in order to like take the holy names and deliver them. So basically absolutely they had no qualification, but by mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, even they got delivered. So that's the hope for us, that one day we will get delivered. Just we need to seek the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by through the holy names.
thank you, Prabhu. So that's what I was about to say, that because of mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right, Nityanand Prabhu, we are able to get this highest philosophy of Krishna consciousness very easily, right? So this is very important. And why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful, and he is not seeing any qualification of a person, right? We know, like Prabhuji has mentioned about Jagai Madhai pastime, so many pastimes from Chaitanya Leela, that Krishna, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was passing through the Jharkhand forest, right, he gave his mercy to the animals also, like deers and lions. All are getting that holy name from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all are dancing in ecstasy with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he is not giving mercy only to the to the human, but also to the animal and to all the living entities, right? So that's how very merciful nature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And also one pastime comes in the Chaitanya Lila that Mahaprabhu gave his mercy to a suffering person who was suffering from the leprosy. And so there was pus coming from his body, there are bloods coming out from his body, and there were no one who wanted to even look at him, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu hugged him and gave him the solace and relieve him from the material pain, not only material pain, but also he gave him the Krishna pain, gave him the Krishna pain. So that's how the merciful is the Lord Chaitanya, and because of his mercy, right, we can understand that Krishna consciousness we are able to get, and because of his mercy, and then followed by the Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada is very merciful. He gave us this Krishna consciousness, so we should take it very seriously, very sincerely. And as I said, that we have to be in this boat, that's it, and we have to do our part, and we'll reach to our destination, right? So thank you so much for sharing your realization, your comments. Anything I would like to say? Anybody?
Yeah,
Satya,
I'll add one thing. As we say, or we have been discussing this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the power of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, like it attains the highest perfectional stage, which had previously attained by people who entered the ocean and executed their 10-year, 20-year for self-discipline to get this. That is in other yuga, I think Satya Yuga or something. But whereas in Kali Yuga, this is actually a great concession kind of for all fallen soul. By only chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can reach that level.
yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji. So let's move to our this Bhagavad Gita discussion. I think we are running out of time. So before that, I would like to request one of the devotee to share whatever we have discussed in the passage in the main room. So either Shilpa Mataji or Upasana Mataji, or maybe Puneet Prabhu, somebody, if they are and ready with few points, they can share in the main room. So let's move towards the Bhagavad Gita discussion, right? So would like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go to.
Yeah.
In Bhagavad Gita chapter 2.5, we will see the second chapter wherein Krishna talks. The first chapter, we have seen Arjuna asking so many questions to Krishna, and this is the first chapter wherein Krishna talks. Krishna starts speaking, and wherein in the fifth sloka we can see Arjuna is very confused so as to whether to fight with his own relatives or not. After seeing his Guru Dronacharya, Kripacharya, and Bhishma Pitama, he doesn't want to fight. Instead, he feels that it is rather better to, beg or taking arms and living rather than fighting on your own Guru. And he feels that that kind of getting the kingdom by fighting with his own relatives will not give the pleasure. So at that point of time, Krishna tells that, you can discard your guru if he's got three qualities: one who is very pride, and one who is who's not following the path of dharma, and who's not able to guide you properly. So all these three, Krishna explains Arjuna that though Bhishma Pitama, though Arjuna says that Bhishma is very great, he throughout his life he's not married. He took that brahmacharya, and he has got the boon wherein he can die on his own wish. Then Krishna explains that though Bhishma Pitama has got all these qualities and virtues, but is still on the side of Kauravas, which is not correct. And attracted to the wealth of Kauravas, he's been to the side of Kauravas, and then Krishna guides him in the further slokas how to fight them.
Thank you, Mataji. So Harita Mataji, next 6th verse.
The 6th one, it tells us about now we do know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them. If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Here, Arjuna is so confused and is giving the 5th reason that if they kill Kauravas, there is no desire to leave. So Arjuna, being a Kshatriya, he is ready to live on arms, but not to fight. He has control over senses. So in this way, like he has senses like Shamadhama, which is control over the senses, Upariti, detachment, and Pratiksha, tolerance, and Shraddha, faith in the whole words of Guru. So in this way, he's not interested in fighting at all, but just to live on arms. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. So his indecision reason he was giving in here. So let's move to the 7th shloka, very important. Puneet Prabhu.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, like Arjuna was asking in the previous verse to Krishna, which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? Srila Prabhupada explained and concluded that Arjuna was quite fit for liberation because he had complete control over his mind and senses. So in this verse, Arjuna clearly mentioned to Krishna that he is confused about his duty. He accepts Lord Krishna as a spiritual master also, and asking what is best for him. And Srila Prabhupada also explained in the purport that in this life, we have unpredictable perplexities, and one should approach a bona fide spiritual master in disciplic succession who can give one proper guidance. Srila Prabhupada also explained that this human form of life is a most valuable asset for the living entity who can utilize it for solving the problems of life. Therefore, one who does not utilize this opportunity properly is a miser. So Arjuna, as an intelligent devotee, could understand that his affection for family members and his wish to protect them from death were the cause of his perplexities, but he is still confused what to do. So he therefore asking Lord Krishna, supreme spiritual master of Arjuna, to make a definite solution now. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So 8th one, Deepak Raj Prabhu. Prabhu, you're mute. You're on mute, Prabhuji.
Yes. Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. In this verse, it was explained that Arjuna was unable to solve his real problem of lamentation without help of spiritual master. He feels that his knowledge was useless and his knowledge was useless in solving his own problems. So he felt he needs some spiritual master. So also in this verse, it was explained that who is a spiritual master? Spiritual master is one who is 100% Krishna consciousness, and he should be a bona fide spiritual master who can solve the problems of life. And also it was explained that whatever the person position is, but who he is perfect in science of Krishna consciousness, he can be qualified to become a spiritual master. And also in this verse, it is explained that academic knowledge, scholarship, high positions are all useless in solving the problems of life, because we are practically seeing like how the situation now in between various countries, between we are seeing in media how the war and all is going. All these countries are very well developed and they have the people are with a high economic knowledge is there. People who are having a lot of scholarship is there. We are in higher positions of there, also are there, but still the problems are there. Because still the problems are there. And also in this verse it is explained like problems of material existence like birth, old age, disease cannot be counteracted by accumulation of wealth and economic development. Even though we accumulate the wealth and even though we have a lot of economic
so I think we have to go back to the main room. So I think I will request Amresh Prabhu, Mamritantaji and others. Santosh Prabhu, you can share your thing in that group. So we weren't able to take other.
What happened? Sorry.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead. Kalpana,
Yeah.
yes, please.
Yeah. So what happens after death? like during death. Okay, so presently actually the main thing is purification of consciousness is the purpose of Krishna conscious moment, is what the main thing which we have understood. So what happens after death is the consciousness is carried from the body, just like the aroma is carried by air. So when the material body is like that 5 elements, water, air, ether, earth, and fire, it decomposes. And the gross body also, it returns to the elements. But what is carried is the subtle, that mind, intelligence, and ego, which moves from one body to another. It carries the spirit soul from one body to another body. But again, that depends on our work, what we have done, like, so it says very clearly, like, also we have read in Christianity, few in different societies, they follow different methods. Sometimes few of them they bury, few they burn, and then few they put it to the throat to the vultures. So what happens when you do it, like everything becomes a stool or a dust or what is that, ashes.
Yes.
So all the three become same, which is again decomposes and becomes this one. That is what we learned. So
Very
our
good.
consciousness is more molded by our work. So it is destined, like what, as we discussed, Prabhuji discussed actually about this, which is like it is carried. The stool aroma is carried, then undesirable body is given. When the aroma is carried with roses, then we get we are transported to a body where we can enjoy the results of our previous work. But if we train ourselves to work in Krishna consciousness, our consciousness will carry to the Lord Krishna.
Thank you, Kalpana Mataji. Very nicely you talked about the process of death and how the consciousness is carried from one body to another body.
Yeah,
Anybody else would like to add?
Share it.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Anybody else would like to add, like, what exactly is this pollution of consciousness and the purification of consciousness? Anybody would like to add from any other group? Maybe very briefly.
या हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
यशवंत प्रभु।
एक्चुअली जो आज का सेशन था पूर्ण रूप से कॉन्शियसनेस पर ही आधारित था। सबसे पहले जो हमने सीखा कि मतलब प्यूरिफिकेशन क्या होता है, तो काम, क्रोध, मद, लोभ, इन सब से गेट फ्री, रीड ऑफ, इनसे छुटकारा पाना ही हमारा प्यूरिफिकेशन है। फिर हमने सीखा कॉन्शियसनेस की जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है और कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस कैसे सहायक होता है। तो सबसे जरूरी है कि जब हम मृत्यु के समय होते हैं तो जो हमारा प्रेजेंस ऑफ कॉन्शियसनेस होता है उस समय गुड है तो उस अनुसार से हमें वैसा अच्छा शरीर मिलता है एंजॉय के लिए। अगर कॉन्शियसनेस हमारा बैड है तो उस अनुसार से हमें बैड बॉडी मिलती है जहां पर हम सफर करते हैं। यदि हम कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में होते हैं तो बैक टू गॉड हेड जाते हैं। तो आज का जो प्रमुख लेसन था ये कॉन्शियसनेस पर ही फुली बेस्ड था और इसमें आने के लिए लास्ट में हमने डिस्कस किया कि किसी भी योग्यता की आवश्यकता नहीं होती है, भक्ति के द्वारा ही भक्ति मिलती है। भक्त के द्वारा हम उसके साथ एसोसिएट होकर लास्ट में कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में आ सकते हैं और बैक टू गॉड हेड जा सकते हैं।
वेरी गुड यशवंत, बहुत सुंदर तरीके से आप बताए है ना कि हाँ ये भक्तों का प्रभाव कितना जरूरी है हमारे लिए ना, बिकॉज दे हेल्प अस इन प्यूरिफाइंग आवर कॉन्शियसनेस ना, जो हमारा मन, बुद्धि, जो अहंकार है ना, उसको कैसे हम प्यूरिफाई करके हमने वी कैन गो बैक टू गॉड हेड, हम भगवत प्राप्ति कैसे कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू वेरी मच। एनीबडी एल्स फ्रॉम राधा, गोविंद, गोपीनाथ? Anybody would like to share? How do you really purify your consciousness, or why Krishna consciousness is called gift of Mahaprabhu?
Shall I take it, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Kya Mataji, please go ahead.
So as everyone explained, like we have learned about purification, how human body is formed, and ultimately it gets decomposed, all 5 elements which through which human body is made up of. So after different people are following different religions, and with those rituals ultimately the body gets decomposed into earth itself. Association is very important. That is what we have discussed in detail, which is rightly mentioned. Through with association of senior devotees, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has showed us the real path of getting into Krishna consciousness, through which even though we have some we are not having good life, but with getting into Krishna consciousness, with chanting of Mahamantra, by reading spiritual books, we can purify our soul, and we can get into a mode of getting better life in next species.
Very good. Thank you, K. Mata ji. ना बहुत सुंदर से बताया ना, like how we can purify our consciousness, allow the mind, intelligence नहीं को, mind मतलब मन, through the chanting of the holy name, mantra.
Yeah.
We can purify our mind through the mantra. We can purify our intelligence, through reading the scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. How all of you have started reading so sincerely, the more we read, the more we absorb, the more we realize the scriptures. We get better discriminatory power. So we'll not be getting confused whether to go right, whether to go right or left. We'll be very clear. We'll get that clarity, and then we'll have that not only clarity and the purity of the consciousness, and then the ego also to be purified by serving the devotees, by being humble, by being nurturing culture, bringing that nice Vaishnava culture, where we are thinking that okay, I'm just an insignificant servant of the Lord and his devotees. That mood, our false ego is getting purified. Otherwise, as long as it is not purified, once again, punarapi janani, punarapi marana. Like, once again we go and take, once again the cycle of birth and death. So, and why? Finally, from Radha Gopinath circle, anybody can share why Mahaprabhu's movement is like Mahaprabhu is saying, is giving us the gift. This Krishna conscious movement is a gift of Mahaprabhu. Why we say?
Anybody? Santosh Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Krishna Prabhu.
Punit Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu.
Punit Prabhu? Yes.
So, Prabhuji, what we understood is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this gift because it's a kind of gift only because no one, need to have any kind of a special qualification for this. They just have to simply chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and, become highly advanced in Krishna consciousness by simply coming in contact with the society. It means all the bhaktas. So, your divine, your consciousness will improve day by day.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's a process
And
of
also,
purification.
Prabhu, in Kali Yuga, it takes at least chanting the mantra, but in other previous, this one, it took 10,000 years.
Perform 10,000 years of tapasya.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's
And what is gift?
प्रभु
And
जी
let me tell you the
एक मेन
acronym.
पॉइंट यहाँ पर, जैसे कि अभी तक जो मतलब प्रथा चली आ रही थी कि जो वेद पुराण शास्त्र हैं इनका पाठ केवल एक ब्राह्मण वर्ग ही कर सकता है, दूसरे निम्न जाति के लोगों को मतलब ये अलाउ नहीं होता था। लेकिन यहाँ पर चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने पॉइंट आउट किया है कि जो कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस है इसको एक निम्न जाति का व्यक्ति भी, उन्होंने चंडाल का उदाहरण दिया है कि वो भी इसको कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस में आ सकते हैं और इस चैंटिंग के थ्रू बैक टू गॉड हेड जा सकते हैं। ये मेन पॉइंट था, मतलब प्रभु जी का गिफ्ट कहते हैं।
वेरी नाइस, थैंक यू यशवंत प्रभु। है ना, जैसे हमारे जो महाप्रभु के जो नामाचार्य है हरिदास ठाकुर, वो मिलेच्छ परिवार में जन्म हुए थे। वे सनातन धर्म में भी नहीं थे, लेकिन महाप्रभु उनको नामाचार्य बना दिए, है ना। सो नथिंग, नो पास्ट क्वालिफिकेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड, है ना, टू कंटिन्यू इन दिस प्रोसेस ऑफ डिवोशन। व्हाट इज रियली रिक्वायर्ड इज टू एक्सेप्ट दैट गिफ्ट। एंड वो गिफ्ट क्या है? GIFT, God in your fingertips. How? You have to just, God is in your fingertip. This Mahamantra is in your fingertip. This is the gift Lord has given. You have to just accept it, not only in our finger, but our in your tongue tip and also in a heart tip. So everybody is receiving this gift of Mahaprabhu, God in fingertip.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Very much, Prabhu. So yeah, this is the gift. So directly connect with the Supreme Lord Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We are very happy, and once again, I would like to remind all the devotees, like especially the devotees who are in Bangalore, we would be really happy to host you in our Bhakti Center. We'll be sharing you the address. We'll be very happy if you can come down next weekend, next Sunday at 5 p.m. in our center, so we can really have a katha together. We'll have a singing, dancing, and feasting. And before we end, I would really like all the devotees to please pray for our Vedam Vani Mataji. She's here. She is going through a lot of difficulties in her health and a lot of issues. So let's pray at the lotus feet of Lord Narasimhadev that she can come out of these difficulties very sooner, because of bhakti, जो prayers होता है, जो बंदना होता है भगवान के ऊपर, then Lord really listens, Lord really takes care. So and we are there for each other, we are meant for each other, we have to really pray for each other. So let's pray at the lotus feet of Lord Narasimhadev and Sister Radha Samsundar, so that she can really come out of the difficulties he is going through pretty soon. Let's chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra sincerely from our heart. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. Now let's proceed for our Namaste Narasimha Pranam. Because Lord Narasimha is known for removing all the obstacles on our path. Let's pray. So who is singing? So we are encouraging every member. I heard that last time I think Ranju Mataji sang, before that Kuspu Mataji, and I think today is Pinti Mataji singing.
Yes, Mahaprabhuji.
Very good. Yeah, I would request everybody to come forward and sing this prayer for Lord Narasimha. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I can also sing Prabhu Namaste Narasimhaya.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya, Namaste Narasimhaya. प्रहलाद लाद दायिने, प्रहलाद लाद दायिने, हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः, हिरण्यकाशीपूर्वक्षः, शिलाटङ्कानखालय, शिलाटङ्कानखालय. इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा, इतो नरसिंहा परतो नरसिंहा, यतो यामि ततो नरसिंहा, मही नरसिंहा हृदये नरसिंहा, नरसिंहा हृदये
नरसिंहमदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये,
नरसिंह अदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये.
तव कर कमलवरे अद्भुत श्रृंगार, दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा, केशवधीता नरहरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे. तव कर कमलवरे नाखा, अद्भुत श्रृंगार, दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृंगा, केशवधृता नरहरि रूपा, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे.
जय लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह जय अनंत देव, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, जय प्रहलाद महाराज, Prahlad Jaya Bhakta Prahlad Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
भक्त विघ्न विनाशक नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय।
जय।
भक्त श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
जय।
जगन्नाथ की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय।
हरि
हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि
हरि बोल। Like to thank once again all the devotees for joining regularly our programs, and please let us know in any way we can serve you better and in your progress in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much for giving us an opportunity to serve you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare